What is up, A-Team? Welcome back. Awesome here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day or night, depending where we're at, but hope it's awesome. And yes, we're back at today. I'm coming on a little bit early because, as you guys know, Donald Trump is going to be speaking in regards to the tariffs. As you guys know, huge ruling today. We've been waiting for this ruling with the Supreme Court for quite some time in regards to Trump's tariffs. I think a lot of you guys have been wondering what's been going on. What's going to happen? It's got pushed off, and the actual decision was made today. You guys are probably aware of it. A lot of you have been following this, and you can see it's brought a mixture of results, feelings. People are mad about it, upset about it. People are happy about it. It's pretty crazy when you start to think about like all the little things that that this could actually do. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of in a mix here because like I kind of believe the tariffs are good for us. Now, whether Trump overstepped his boundaries, I guess that's what they're deciding on here. But I think there's a lot of things out there that are actually very good for this decision. I mean, I actually think that there's a better chance now that they go out there and I actually think that there's a better chance. Let me turn this down here. That they actually go out there and maybe make some they branch off from it. You know what I mean? I think that this is actually a really good thing here. But I'm going to stream live. He's going to have a press conference here in about 5 minutes here, 3 minutes here. He should be going live here. So we'll put that on here once it goes and hear what he has to say about this ruling. I mean, obviously a big ruling. Some people, like I said, are pissed off about it. Some people are happy about it. Blood in the street's going to stop. I don't know, man. Adam, dude, thanks so much for the $5 super chat here. Hi, fan. This speech is going to be hilarious. Well thought out, clear, concise, sensible, no rambling. Will totally make sense. What's up, Adam? Good to see you, man. Appreciate the 499 super chat here. Thank you so much. And I don't know what's going to happen here, to be honest with you. I don't know what's going to be said. I mean, obviously he's pissed off about it. Obviously he's against the ruling here. And it's funny because there was a 6-3 ruling on it. And the people that were actually supporting him, I mean, there's 6 people that obviously ruled against him. They stepped outside his bounds, or that the tariffs were illegal from what he did. And then there's 3 people that agreed. And as you guys know, one of them actually came through and gave a pretty good description, which we'll talk about after his speech here in about 2 minutes. We'll talk about that and everything that it has. I think it's actually going to be pretty interesting to sort of see what is said. It's going to be very interesting to sort of see how everything plays out. I'll be honest with you, man. Didn't really expect to see a whole lot of action. I mean, the markets right now aren't even the greatest here. Well, let's see here. I can let's actually start to go over some of this while we wait for his speech here. As you can see here, we have it pulled up here. But the markets haven't done too bad. I mean, honestly, the markets are kind of flat for the most part. The Dow's down 108 points. This is actually looking pretty good earlier on. The S&P 500 is sitting about 13 points up, and the NASDAQ's about 92 points down. Cryptocurrency market over the last 24 hours has been really flat for the most part. Like nothing too crazy here. The fear and greed index is still the same way. The market cap's still pretty much the same. But over the last hour, we're starting to see just a tad bit of a decline here. And obviously we're still waiting for Trump to come live here. So it's getting really, really close here as to what's gonna be said here. I'm hoping that it's probably gonna be some rambling. Who knows what's gonna be said? But obviously he's pissed. I mean, if you guys actually read out on X here, there's a couple things that were put out here in regards to his feelings with it. Obviously people aren't upset, but there's a massive contingency plan behind this. Like, do not discount Trump in his administration. I mean, in all reality, you can hate him, love him, whatever. I do think that they obviously knew that this ruling was going to go this way. I don't think that like this caught them off guard by any means. If you followed any of the prediction markets out there, any prediction market out there, you would see that this ruling was like, it was like an 85% chance that they were going to rule against Trump. I mean, it's been out there for a long time. What's up, Anthony Hawkins? Good to see you, man. We got Tim Shea in the house here. What's going on, man? We got Stan DeMan. What's going on? Alexi, Eric, Jessica, good to see you guys. We got Messi in the house here. Dustin, good to see each and every one of you guys. We got Andrew B, Tony Punch. What's going on, man? We got Cool Cat, Cosmos. What's up, man? Just Maui's in the house here. Yeah, Chipper. Good to see you guys. We got Mike here. What's up, Mike? He has other ways to do it. They're just more restrictive. Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of things. This is going to open up. I think this actually opens up the door for. I mean, in all reality, I think this ruling, because this is just the emergency. This is just like the president acting in terms of like his like the emergency power and using like that emergency power or whatever it is that they're talking about, which we'll cover here. But I mean, that's what it was ruling against. But there's so many other doors that this could open up. What's up, guy? Good to see you, man. There's so many doors this actually opens up to. So this ruling, as much as people are like in favor of it, obviously the left is, I mean, going on. If you're on X and you're like Elizabeth Warren, she's like, you stole from people. You got Gavin Newsom out here. You stole from people. Like, give their money back. It's just like, it's crazy to me. But unfortunately, that's kind of like how it is. That's where the party lines have been driven, dude. Is like, I think both sides of the aisle, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, like, they're, no matter what, you're like rooting against whoever's in power. So like, if the Republicans are in power, the far left is, and the left and anyone leaning left are hoping for the demise of the party. And it goes for the same for the conservative side. When Biden's in power, or the Democrats are in power, they have the same thing, where they want like the administration to fail. And it's just so counterintuitive. It makes no sense to me. Like, why would we not want, like, to prosper as like a nation? Why would we keep fighting each other? It's weird. It's a weird mentality, but it's been there. It's always been there. And it's just kind of crazy. Trump's tariffs might have been the last chance America had to right the ship. No one in office. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, because that's where I kind of agree. I mean, we're seeing the surplus right now while we wait for Trump here to come on. There was a pretty good art showing here. I think it's right here. Look at this, dude. Look at the amount of money that has come in, the surging through tariffs. Like, we had a chance to pay off a ton of our national debt with this. I mean, this is a huge thing. And now to think that, like, this has to be potentially paid back, it's going to be interesting to see if, like, we actually do pay it back. I don't know what's going to happen here. Like, I mean, is it going to be forced? Like I said, if you read the article that SCOTUS put out, you could see that they already said that they don't have a clear way of actually making these things be repaid. It's going to be a mess, and that could take years, if not, before, even after Trump is out of office, before that payment actually comes out, right? I mean, so I don't think the payment's not going to happen right away. If you, like I said, if you read the documents, which I went over a little bit today, and if you want to, like, get the highlights, just take the Supreme Court's ruling. Go find that. It's on X. I mean, it's all over there, all the pages. You can actually upload that into Grok or into ChatGPT, and it breaks down pretty much everything that you want for it. Like, all the highlights of it, and all the. So, I mean, it's actually pretty cool when you can see that stuff. Don't say we had a chance to pay off a ton of our debt. The debt has gone $4 trillion. We got to start somewhere, right, Adam? And I mean, it starts with the spending of the United States. I mean, the spending of the United States is crazy. I think you can go back. I showed this yesterday on stream, Adam. Is that we have it's crazy when you start to see around 2008, when we bailed out Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. That was when we had the housing crisis. Obviously, Obama came into office. I don't think it was because of Obama. I mean, obviously the everything that happened with the housing crisis was under good old Bush. But you could see that, like, that's where we started to really get out of control with our government spending. It, like, literally, we went from a couple trillion to where we're at now. I mean, it's gone nuts. And now with all the fraud out there, I mean, we're seeing fraud left and right. I mean, we can all probably agree, whether you believe it or not, whether you think we can all agree, after what happened in Minnesota and what we saw in Minnesota, and then all the other things that are being uncovered, like, there's just a massive amount of fraud. And it's both sides of the party. We just know that the government, whether you're red or blue, doesn't matter. We know that the government has uncontrolled spending, and there's just fraud on both sides. And we just know that our taxpayers' dollars is literally going to waste in all reality. Let's see. Did it go live already? Why isn't this playing? There we go. Like, why is this not playing? So you can see right here, the Supreme Court got it right today, President. So people are thinking that some people got it right. Some people, I mean, I don't know if I don't think they got it right. I'm kind of in I would rather our president be strong with trade and leveraging that trade versus the other way around, where we kind of get screwed. And, again, I know we have our own arguments on it, but that's kind of how I felt. Uncontrolled spending, like building a new ballroom. Well, I mean, I think that that's already been decided, that came out of his own money. I think it's actually his own money, right, that created that. So that's kind of where it's at, dude. I think that's already been out there, is that the new ballroom for the United States it's coming out of Trump's own pocket, right? I think that's already come. I think that's already came out. I think everyone, yeah, it's a private donations. Yeah, it's going to be anywhere from 300 million to 400 million, but it's all done through private donations. So it's actually not even corporate donors such as Amazon, Apple, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, T-Mobile, Comcast. Those are all donors that are donating to put their name on this ballroom. So ballroom was built with donor money, not taxpayers. Yeah, which Tripper do know exactly pays out of its own pocket. Yeah, I think that that's what's crazy about this too. Is I mean, in all reality, rich people, they have a ton of they have a lot of money out there, and they have to find ways to do write-offs, right? I mean, if you've done taxes, I mean, taxes are crazy. By the way, if anyone, I mean, if you do your taxes, I mean, when you have a massive amount of money coming in, you got to find ways to counterbalance that so you don't pay so much in taxes, right? So what's the best thing you can do? Well, the best thing you could possibly do is go get in favor of an administration by donating to their cause, and now you have influence. That's what it is. A lot of these rich people buy influence, and that donation's a complete write-off. And so that's the game, dude. That's the name of the game, and people play that game. Thank God they got it right. Finally, tariffs aren't good for us, only his big business buddies. The ballroom funding is allegedly contributions from corps, which violates the. I mean, I think that they're. I mean, you're adding on to the White House, and it's not coming from taxpayers' dollars. I could care less. I mean, if we're not paying for it, I don't really care. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, I don't care how it comes. I mean, if they want to build a new ballroom, build a new ballroom. I mean, like, that's the least of my worries. And it's not coming from taxpayers' dollars, so I could care less about that. It's crazy. It's funny how there's just so many people here who believe that Trump's like a con man. He's a con man. I think tariffs are a great thing. I think that tariffs are good for leveraging. Yeah, I do. I don't think it has nothing to do with brainwashing, dude. I think it has everything to do with just being able to leverage. I think he's done a good job using it to leverage people coming back to America to build in America. I mean, we know that we've shipped all of our jobs. A lot of our jobs got shipped overseas, and now there's a chance for that to come back. And I think that he's done a good job. I actually think he's done a good job leveraging that back, right? Whether you believe it or not. I mean, that's kind of what's happening. We saw that happen. I mean, no doubt about that. Minnesota should pay for the ballroom. That's funny. So many boys coming in hard in the chat. Yeah, it's I mean, you got it. Like I said, I mean, you're gonna have no matter what you have. Like, let's just say that Biden was in office and he was going to build this ballroom. You'd have the left that would be so excited that he's building a ballroom, even if he went and got all these donors to do it. And then you'd have the right that would be doing the same thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, no matter what, like, it's a lose-lose because you're always going to have people who don't agree with what's happening. and if it was flipped right now, it'd be completely flipped. So that's just always how it is. He also used them to negotiate peace treaties. Yeah, he did. Yeah, let's not forget about the peace treaties. I mean, I think that's a big thing too. Is the peace treaties are huge. You know what I mean? I think he's done a good job with that as well. Yeah, breaking Trump calls Supreme Court tariff decision a disgrace after aide hands him note with the news. This is so funny to me. Like, I just reading everything here. But what's funny is that no matter what, I think no matter what, dude, to be honest with you guys, this isn't the end of tariffs. I mean, if you go back and actually read some of these things out here, if you go through and read, so there's a pretty good article out here if you want to read into it here, and a pretty good breakdown here. So let's break down what happened. The court, in a 6-3 split decision, said that the IEPA doesn't give the president the power to slap tariffs under a national emergency declaration. Again, it doesn't give the power president to slap tariffs under a national emergency declaration. So what does that mean? That means that that's all that they ruled on. So people are forgetting that's the only thing that they're ruling on is that they don't give him the power under emergency declarations. However, there's so many other ways out of this. It says this law from 1977 let the president regulate economic transactions in emergencies, but the justice ruled it doesn't extend to imposing duties without Congress, which I think is fine, right? The case came from businesses like an educational toy maker and a wine importer who sued over the tariff impact. President Trump first used the IEPA in February of 2025 to hit China. But what it comes down to here is that it says like here, leftists in the Unity Party cheer for the ruling as it's checked executive power, but President Trump sees it as it's missing the point. His tariffs have raised over $236 billion in revenue, helped slash the trade deficit by 78% in recent months. The economy is doing well, but it says right here, good news is the decision doesn't kill tariffs. It just limits one law for applying them. So again, you got one law out here for applying these. That's all it is. I mean, there's so many other laws. It says administration can now turn to Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, which lets tariffs for national security reasons. He used that on steel and aluminum, and it could cover more now. There's also Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974, perfect for unfair trade practices like intellectual property theft or subsidies that have hit China hard in the first term. It says, and don't forget that Section 201 for safeguarding tariffs when surges of imports threaten domestic industries. These have limitations on speed and scope, but top officials like Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says they'll pivot quickly to keep the tariff structure intact. So I think that this ruling is only on one rule. It's only on one thing here. I think there's a lot more that it covers, and so this is going to open up the door. I don't know where this is going to go. The refunds, I don't think the refunds are going to happen. I think that they're going to find ways. They're probably going to come back and find other legal avenues to allow these things to happen. How it works, I don't know. But I mean, we'll find out. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see where this goes. Tariffs are leverage paid by Americans. I'm not American, so I don't really care if they are or not. It's crazy how Americans are okay. What did I say, Mafa? It's crazy how Americans are okay with other countries' tax in this. I know. It is weird that people can tariff us, but then we can't tariff them. I think that's pretty weird. I will agree with that. I've always thought that was super interesting. I think the emergency declaration came under I think that he decided that it was an emergency declaration, right? Like where does that decision get made? I mean, who's deciding that it's an emergency or not? I don't know. I mean, I guess if you feel it's an emergency, then you go down that route. I mean, if you feel that you're being completely dismantled from within, which is what I think Trump declared the emergency, right? And so I think that's kind of how it got started. Whether that's correct or not, I don't know. Right? Maybe he goes back to Congress and says, "Hey, do you agree with me that this was an emergency?" And then they vote and they say, "Yeah," and then they move forward with the tariffs, dude. So. Let's see here. Wish people actually read the bill, read the Genius bill, read Clarity Act. It's not good for crypto. Yeah, the Clarity Act actually is not looking. I mean, in all reality, it's not too bad. POTUS should be able to levy reciprocal tariffs. That would not be an unchecked power. Yeah, like if you tariff off 100%, we should be able to tariff you 100%. Like that. I mean, that would be nice. Which makes okay, so tariffs do increase prices for imported goods, which makes locally produced products more competitive and limit offshore and labor. It's so simple that they just stop at he's taxing Americans. I think that's just a lot of that's just a lot of the lingo that's out there right now. Is that I mean. It's so frustrating to hear you open on this. Trump would have declared a specific emergency, which he didn't do. Okay, so he didn't do it. I mean, it doesn't mean that what his actions are wrong. I mean, yeah, so maybe he did it under the wrong thing. Who knows? I mean, obviously, the Supreme Court, we already know the Supreme Court actually ruled that he shouldn't have been able to do it. So, like, that's already out there. So, like, that's off the table now. We know that Trump, based off of the Supreme Court's decision, he went above his power to put these tariffs out there. But so we know that now. That's fine. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that actually changes anything. I mean, that's under one ruling for the emergency. Okay. But there's other things out there. Like I was just reading to you. I mean, there's other things out there that you can do now. Where's it at right here? I mean, there's so many other sections of this that he could probably enact. And how far does that go? I don't know. How much he can do with this? I don't know. Does this ruling help him on other sections, or does it not? I guess we will find out. But I don't think that they're just going to like roll. That's why I said I don't think they're just going to roll over today. I don't think they're just going to roll. I don't think the administration is just going to roll over and allow this to happen. I mean, this is probably one of Trump's biggest. Well, he ran on this. This is one of the biggest things he ran on was this tariff, not getting screwed by other nations. he was going to tariff the hell out of everyone. I mean, that's he ran on that, right? I mean, people knew that was coming. I don't know, Kato. Regardless of everyone's opinion here, he did something. Everyone else is more interested in the managed decline and stealing your kid's future. Kind of sometimes, I mean, like, I'm just like, hey, 800 small businesses and Costco are pushing forward with their lawsuits from what I read this morning. Yeah, they probably will. I mean, like I said, how much money and time that is and energy that is to do that. And I don't think that's going to happen overnight, Andrew B. Like, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen overnight. Like I said, it's probably going to, Trump probably won't even be in office anymore when the settling of these lawsuits come through. And so like that 200 and whatever $billion is going to sit there anyways. Trump in his term is strictly about tariff. What did that say? Is about tariff. Trump in this term is strictly about tariff, immigration, and crypto. Don't they realize how much of that tariff money was going to Israel? Then there's no way to account for it. It's weird there because he could completely block imports from China, but not put 1% tariff. I think it was pretty interesting. I mean, you can restrict countries. I mean, the president has a lot of power. I mean, look what happens. He could put sanctions on countries. Like, you can sanction a country and put sanctions on a country, like he does with Russia and all these countries. But you can't put a tariff on the country. That is pretty weird. I will admit that is a pretty weird thought. Any thoughts on Canton? I saw it now available on iTrust. I don't even know what that is. Crypto Joel Canton. Market never wants to read anything. They are smart follow promises. Smart money will buy the dips and sell her at the higher prices. Yeah, they probably will. Absolutely, they probably will. They absolutely probably will. Well, Trump's not on time now. Who cares about what Nancy Pelosi has to say? That's the last person. Who cares what she has to say? What is going on in crypto these days? Crypto still linger. It's obviously down. Today it's flattened out for the most part. Even after these rulings, I mean, the markets haven't done too bad. The markets are actually in the green after the emergency tariff discussion. The cryptocurrency market's really flat. The fear and greed was 11 yesterday. It's at 12 now. The market cap is it's really flat. Look at that, dude. You can see we've been flat across the board here. And like I said, today's ruling didn't really impact. We had a nice little spike and then it came back down. He's pushing our allied trade partners to China and India. America first doesn't have to mean isolationism. Not sure Trump knows the difference. Yeah, but we already saw what happens when we try to work with our trade partners. The trade partners haven't worked with us. I mean, we've seen that before. I mean, look at when you start to actually look at how much we've been taken advantage of as a nation. I mean, we are, like, America is a business, dude. Like, America is the largest business in the world. I mean, people seek America because of the money that America generates. Like, America, just think of America as the biggest business in the world. It is. It's a business. And that's how people view it, man. And so all these other trade partners just look at us as trying to make a business deal with us. Did some of you get your old YouTube name back? I don't know if they did or not. It still looks like it's the @ symbol on here. Nancy looks like she's dead for a decade now. He's never on time. Even if I don't care what Nancy has to say, even I don't care what Nancy has to say. She's done for. Like Mitch McConnell, dude. Like, why is that guy? There's so many things on X about Mitch McConnell today, dude. How is that guy still even making? Like, he is like, his brain is cooked, like cooked. Like, we can all see it, and I'm like, how is this even, like? How are we still even? I feel it's like elder abuse at this moment, dude. Like, I honestly feel like it's elder abuse. Like, I felt like that with Biden too. Like, Biden was obviously going senile. He was obviously not all there. And I felt like that was even, like, I was like, it was just like sad to see. And that people were just, I mean, he had no idea, he had no clue. He's gone, cooked. And people just, on the team were just, didn't give a shit, dude. They would just keep pushing forward. Just because we make more money than everybody else doesn't mean they should be able to charge us more bottom line. I would agree. That's kind of where I'm at. Watch the markets dump if we end up having to pay back the money made from the tariffs. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Like, we know that even the Supreme Court came out and said that the refund's going to be a mess, and they didn't rule on exactly how that's going to happen. Like, that there's no set rule on how that's going to happen. Like, they didn't, like, say, like, you have to pay it back today. Like, like there's going to be obviously things that are going to be said out here. We're going to have to figure this out because I don't know what's going to happen. Um, Congress and administration will determine the best path forward in the coming weeks. So like I said, I mean, Congress could come forward. I mean, basically, they said that you got to go through Congress. That's basically what was said here. Is that if you actually read the documents, they're basically putting it back on Congress to actually make the determination. So, I mean, they have a short period of time to get this pushed through with the Senate and with the House, right? To get something pushed through in regards to the tariffs. And I think that a lot of the Republicans out there, well, I wouldn't say all Republicans, but a majority of the Republicans out there definitely see. I mean, we can see the amount of inflow that's come in from these. But it will be very interesting to sort of see how that's played out. I'm tired of the nursing home running the country. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Why doesn't the McConnell family help him step down? I know. I think that's the same thing, dude. Age limits or a mental. I think that they should have. I do think that Congress should just have term limits, dude. Like you shouldn't be in Congress. I mean, you shouldn't be in Congress past like 65 years old. You should be retired. Like go enjoy life. Like why are you being 80 years old still trying to have power? Like McConnell is a perfect example of someone who like can't give away power in like and it basically overcame him, dude. Like, look at him, dude. I mean, it's scary. Lindsey Graham came out of Lindsey Graham. This is going to be a messaging going into midterms. Trump stole from you and needs to refund your money today. It'll be interesting to sort of see. I mean, what the messaging is going to be. I think Mitch should resign at this point. That man should be allowed to rest and live the remainder of it. I agree. I agree with that, dude. After caregiving for my mom, it breaks my heart seeing the elder abuse. I couldn't agree more with you, stepping into grace. I couldn't agree more. Trump will sue the U.S. government for the payback amount and then donate it to the pay the bill. Trump just needs to go through Congress, do things the right way. Yeah, I mean, okay, so like you take the L. I mean, you have to take the L. Like the L's there. I mean, but I think there's a lot of ways around this. I think people don't like that's what I'm saying. Don't discount all the other rulings that are out here. Like go actually read the Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act. Like, dude, just put that into Grok, dude. Grok will give you the breakdown of what that can do. Go put Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974. Go put that in there, dude. And you can see, and you can even ask Grok the same questions, dude. Like, how would today's ruling with SCOTUS impact this? Or, there's so many other avenues for this administration to go. Like, I would not say that like that this whole tariff discussion is done. Like, don't get me wrong, I hate the tariff discussion because every time tariffs come up, the markets literally take a shit. Like it's the worst thing in the world. We've seen it time and time again. Liberation Day was a disaster. We saw that back in April. Liberation Day was one of the largest sell-offs in crypto history. It was bad, and we're still kind of feeling like we're recovering from that at some point. Guy Kemp, you killing me with the Lindsey Graham. You guys are crazy. Power is like fentanyl, addictive and dead. I think so, dude. I think I was talking about this yesterday, Tall Paul. Like it's just like again, it's kind of like what I was talking about with BitBoy. BitBoy was on top of the world, 4 years ago with everything he had going on, and same thing, right? He got a lot of power. He got a lot of people back behind him in crypto, and look what happens, dude. Like look what happens. You think you're untouchable to some degree. And people think that way with Trump too. And I mean, there's probably things that he's a power. I mean, he's the leader of the free world. I mean, you're a pretty powerful person when you're the leader of the free world. But yeah, I think that that's a huge thing here. So it looks like Trump to respond at 1:05 Eastern Standard Time. So what is that? That's like now, right? Isn't that now? Let's see here. Donald Trump has been illegally taxing your groceries for a year. He should give us a stimulus check and tell them to put the money's gone. I mean, like almost like Minnesota, right? Just be like, hey, dude, it's gone. I don't know where it went. I don't know where it went. I mean, we're overlooking all the fraud that's happened in Minnesota. Like, where did the billions of dollars go from all the fraud between California and Minnesota and a couple other states, even here in Washington State? Like, what we just not going to talk about that? Like, where did all that money go? Okay, can we get a refund on that? I mean, that's what I want. Where's the outrage over the $10 billion he's suing his own IRS for over his tax returns? I think that we should just start suing everyone. I mean, at this point, exactly out that box. I mean, like, why did we stop talking about that? I mean, we all lost money. Like, shouldn't we start asking for our money back from the fraud in Minnesota and California? I truly believe that. Like, we see that on paper. We've seen it now. We've seen all the fraud, billions and billions and billions of dollars, and yet we're going to be upset about tariffs. Yeah, sue everybody. Just F it. Just start suing everyone, dude. Everyone just like come together and start. Liberation Day is today, dude. We just start suing everyone, dude. I want my money. Just start suing the government. Like, hey, I want my money back for what you spent in Minnesota and California and all these other, like, just open it up, dude. Where's the class action lawsuits on those? They should pay it back in pennies. That's actually pretty funny. I'll sue for looking too good on YouTube. Yeah, right. That's funny. Why hasn't the blue state of California rebuilt one house in the Palisades? That is a crazy thing too, dude. The whole Palisades thing. If you look into that, like, oh my gosh, that hurts my head, dude. And I feel so bad. So I've been a victim of a house, of my house burning down. Right, neighbor's house caught fire. My house then burned down with it. I've been through that disaster. Like, I know that pain and that feeling. It's the worst thing in the world, dude. Like, going through having your house burned down, having valuables get ruined, lost forever, and then on top of that, like, just the feeling of having to rebuild. And I just remember going through that. It was so exhausting, dude. And to think that they still haven't, it just like makes my heart hurt for them. Like, everyone there, dude, regardless of what it is, like, it just sucks, dude. Austin dabbles in home electronic work. Absolutely not, dude. The neighbor's Ford spontaneously combusted their starter. There was a recall on the starter on the Ford, and their Ford spontaneously combusted. The starter did, and the car caught their truck caught fire, and then it went from their house over to mine. And yeah, it was disastrous, dude. Um, if you're upset about the tariffs, take it up with the Supreme Court, y'all. Yeah, right. Yeah, go hit up the Supreme Court, man. They're the ones making the rulings now. You know what I mean? You guys are pretty funny, dude. They don't want to fix the Palisades, like everything. It's expensive to treat a problem. Yeah, that's a crazy thing, dude. No one mad about Mandami raising taxes. Did you see? There's actually a whole group of people in New York City that came out and obliterated Mandani, however you say his name, about that. There was a whole group of people, dude, came out like pissed off. Like, you're talking middle class people pissed off about this whole raising taxes. Crazy, dude. Yeah, you get a lawsuit and you get a lawsuit. It's like, it's over. Yeah, it's Oprah, right, Stephanie Grace? You get a lawsuit and you get a lawsuit. I went through I went through it, and I was hoping that they were, we were gonna be able to sue Ford for it, but and that ended up not being. I was not able to do it with the insurance, which is kind of crazy. And at that time, I was like, you know what, dude, I'm just trying to build my house back and move on in my life, because it was a big chapter. It was a huge chapter in life to get through, honestly. But you can see right here, it says the contingency plan include expanded use of Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act, which allows tariffs on a national security grounds and has already been used to target steel, aluminum, autos, copper, and lumber. And guess what? SCOTUS did not rule against Section 232. Read that again. On national security grounds, I mean, everything Trump is dealing with can be classified as national security grounds. So there's a whole nother section here on where this could go, right? I don't think this just ends today with this ruling. Like, this is just one section of the ruling. I don't think it ends today at all. You can see right here, it says Justice Brett Kavanaugh warns that chaos is about to ensue because President Trump would have to give refunds for the tariffs. Yet the court did not rule how that would play out. The process is likely to be a mess, and it will be a mess. Like, and so how this plays out, I honestly don't know, dude. I honestly don't know how it's going to play out. I'm suing Melania for sure of that. He starts suing the Supreme Court. Maybe they'll learn that communists always lie. Yeah. I see a lot of news claiming the rest of the Epstein files contain. Dude, there's so much stuff out there, dude. Uh, there's no way, guy. There's no way that Mandami looks like a huge success in New York City, dude. Did you see the catastrophes that happened out there? I mean, the people that were dying. I mean, 18 people died in the cold. And on top of that, like just the garbage on the streets and the amount of the snow plowing incident, like crazy. It's a crazy. I mean, like I looked at, I was like, man, but like looking at sort of like where New York City has fallen to, and then thinking that they have to tap in, where it got me, where honestly, I didn't really care about the whole Mondami thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, I could care less. But where it got me was when they have to go into the rainy day fund and start tapping into pensions. Right? They're going to start using firefighters. They're going to start using police officers, public employees pensions are going to be used now for the budget. Like that's not cool, dude. Like people are relying on those pensions, and to tap into that because you're like that's crazy to me, dude. That's like the downfall of all downfalls to me when you start tapping into to people's pensions. But again, that's just me. That's just me. So, but here you can see right here, and one of the most anticipated rulings in decades, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that President Trump's emergency tariffs were illegal. This exposed Trump's administration to a potential 175 billion in tariff refunds, and I think there's just a lot here. It says after about 5+ months, the Supreme Court put this ruling out here. The market initial reaction has been positive, but not that strong. The S&P 500 rose to about +1%, and silver prices are up about 5%. But that's a fairly muted reaction to such a big ruling. And it says, but why? There's much more to this. It says, first, the ruling specifically applies to the IEEPP, which is the emergency tariffs, including 25% tariff on most Canadian imports, 25% tariff on Mexican imports, 10% tariffs on many Chinese imports, and 10+% on there. It says many others are unimpacted from this. So meaning that some things aren't even going to be affected by this. It says this will obviously expose them to their 175 billion. It says, in fact, there's currently just 36% chance that Trump administration is forced to refund the tariffs. Only a 36% chance. That's actually very low, dude. A 30% chance that the Trump administration will be forced to refund tariffs. This means that the base case assumption remains that tariffs will not be entirely refunded. Refunding these tariffs would be an extreme difficult ordeal, and I just don't know if that's actually going to happen. Like I already said that. I don't think it's going to happen at all. I don't think the tariffs are going to be refunded. Human shit on the street everywhere in New York City after they cleared the snow. Yeah, isn't that crazy to see, dude? We knew what happens. Socialism works until you run out of other people's money. It kind of feels it's almost like a meme coin, right? You gotta think the reason why meme coins are successful is because people get behind it, they push it, there's money being pumped into it, and then once they run out of money and they stop developing, they just go away. It's just kind of the same thing. It's a free country. You don't need to watch a movie. Human shit on the streets everywhere. Yeah, that was pretty crazy to see, dude. My dad's pension 5 years before he retired. Supposed to be 4,300 a month. When he retired, it was all way down to, dude, that is sickening, dude. Like that makes me sick to my stomach. Kato, where are you where was that out of, dude? They should put that 175 billion in XRP. That'd be crazy. What does the BTC chart say is going to happen? Yeah, let's take a look at the chart while we're waiting for good old Trump. Take him out here. I think the chart's actually looking not too bad. Oops. Well, the chart's not looking too bad, actually. We also had some news come out today in regards to GDP, right? We're not even talking. That's what's crazy is that this ruling has totally taken everything away from GDP. But you can see right now that the day chart's on its way down. We'll probably bounce back with the 4 hours at the top here. We could do a little bounce around something like this right here, but I mean, we're already at the top right now, starting to maybe start to work our way back down. It'll be interesting to sort of see the 1 hours at the bottom, 12 hours, bounced off this, and we tend to do something like where we come up and come back down, but we didn't fully reset on the 12 hour here, so that's not good. But the day chart's working its way back down here. Kind of a mixed signal here. We haven't even got out of the bottom that we're in right now. So we're going to try to work our way out of this one. But you can see, I mean, we're kind of at the same level that we were here. It would be nice if we do something like this, because then we'll look at something like this, but down here a little lower. But yeah, we had a pretty big fall off right there with Bitcoin, right? I mean, that's January all the way down to here. Hopefully we could build back up, maybe get back into like the 80,000 mark would be nice, but we'll see what happens. I mean, we definitely hit a death cross right here pretty bad. Yeah, kind of crazy when we start to think about it. And by the way, guys, just to let you know, I did finally. Oh, we got Trump coming on. All right, let's get this ball rolling here. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
Wow, got a lot of people.
That's hopefully you guys can hear it. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
Record every time. Well, thank you very much for being here. The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country. I'd like to thank and congratulate Justices Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for their strength and wisdom and love of our country, which is right now very proud of those justices. When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long. That I can assure you. The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. They're an automatic no, just like in Congress. They're an automatic no. They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices.
Wow.
They're an automatic no, no matter how good a case you have. It's a no. You can't knock their loyalty. It's one thing you can do with some of our people. Others think they're being politically correct, which has happened before far too often with certain members of this court. And it's happened so often with this court. What a shame. Having to do with voting.
Parents, if your child plays Roblox, listen up. You can qualify for up to $300,000 or more.
Dogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats. And
I hate this channel.
Not that this should have anything at all to do with it. They're very unpatriotic and disloyal to our Constitution. It's my opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than people would ever think. It's a small movement. I won by millions of votes. We won in a landslide. With all the cheating that went on, there was a lot of it. But we still won in a landslide. Too big to rig. But these people are obnoxious, ignorant, and loud. They're very loud. And I think certain justices are afraid of that. They don't want to do the right thing. They're afraid of it. This was an important case to me, more as a symbol of economic national security. And also, I would say, just for our country itself, so important, because we're doing so well as a country. We've never done so well. The good news is that there are methods, practices, statutes, and authorities as recognized by the entire court in this terrible decision, and also as recognized by Congress, which they refer to, that are even stronger than the IEEPA tariffs available to me as President of the United States. And in actuality, I was very modest in my ask of other countries and businesses because I wanted to do, and it's very important, I wanted to be very well behaved because I wanted to do anything, I didn't want to do anything that would affect the decision of the court, because I understand the court. I understand how they're very easily swayed. I want to be a good boy. I have very effectively utilized tariffs over the past year to make America great again. Our stock market has just recently broken 50,000 on the Dow, and simultaneously, and even more amazingly, broken 7,000 on the S&P, two numbers that everybody thought upon our landslide election victory could not be attained. Think of that. Nobody thought it was possible to do it within 4 years, and we did it in 1 year. They said, you'll never be able, you'll go back and you read the geniuses, read their statements, all of the Nobel Prize winners in economics. They said, no, you couldn't do it in 4 years. Well, we didn't do it in 4 years. We did it in 1 year. We broke every record in the book, and we're continuing to do so. Tariffs have likewise been used to end 5 of the 8 wars that I settled. I settled 8 wars, whether you like it or not, including India, Pakistan, big ones, nuclear, could have been nuclear. Prime Minister of Pakistan said yesterday at the great meeting that we had, the Peace Board, he said yesterday that President Trump could have saved 35 million lives by getting us to stop fighting. They were getting ready to do some bad things, but they've given us great national security, these tariffs have, and together with our strong borders, reduced fentanyl coming into our country by 30%. When I use them as a penalty against countries illegally sending this poison into our country to poison our youth, all of those tariffs remain. They all remain. I don't know if you know that or not. They all remain. We're still getting them, and we will after the decision. I guess there's nobody left to appeal to. But again, those 3 people, such respect. I've had a lot of respect for them anyway, but such great respect. But other alternatives will now be used to replace the ones that the court incorrectly rejected. We have alternatives, great alternatives. Could be more money. We'll take in more money, and we'll be a lot stronger for it. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We'll continue to do so. To show you how ridiculous the opinion is, however, the court said that I'm not allowed to charge even $1. I can't charge $1. Can't charge $1. I would have used 1 penny, but we don't make the pennies anymore. We save money. Can't charge $1 to any country under IEPA. Not $1. I assume to protect other countries. This must have been done to protect those other countries, certainly not the United States of America, which they should be interested in protecting. That's what they're supposed to be protecting. But I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to impose a foreign country destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. That is crazy.
Because that's not what it says. And that's not the way it even reads. I can do anything I want to do to them, but I can't charge any money. So I'm allowed to destroy the country, but I can't charge them a little fee. I could give them a little 2-cent fee, but I cannot charge under any circumstances. I cannot charge them anything. Think of that. How ridiculous is that? I'm allowed to embargo them. I'm allowed to tell them you can't do business in the United States anymore. We want you out of here. But if I want to charge them $10, I can't do that. It's incorrect. Their decision's incorrect. But it doesn't matter because we have very powerful alternatives that have been approved by this decision. You know, they've been approved by the decision for those that thought they had us. And they're saying that I have the absolute right to license, but not the right to charge a license fee. So think of that. I have the right to license, which is a very powerful word. In many ways, license is more powerful than tariffs. In fact, I was thinking about using it. But they came up with the idea that I can license, just like the people that were opposing me told them to do, but not the right to charge a license fee. Think of that. Who ever heard of such a thing? What license has ever been issued without the right to charge a fee? You get a license, you charge a fee. It's automatic, but not with this court. But now the court has given me the unquestioned right to ban all sorts of things from coming into our country, to destroy foreign countries, but a much more powerful right than many people ever thought we even had, but not the right to charge a fee. How crazy is that? Our country is the hottest country anywhere in the world right now. And it was a dead country 1.5 years ago under an incompetent president. But now I'm going to go in a different direction, probably the direction that I should have gone the first time, but I read the language. I'm very good at reading language, and it read our way 100%. But now I'll go the way I could have gone originally, which is even stronger than our original choice. As Justice Kavanaugh, whose stock has gone so up, you have to see, I'm so proud of him, wrote in his dissent, although I firmly disagree with the court's holding today, the decision might not substantially constrain a president's ability to order tariffs going forward. So think of that. The decision might not substantially constrain. And it doesn't. He's right. In fact, I can charge much more than I was charging. So I'm going to just start. Although I firmly disagree with the court's holding today, the decision might not substantially constrain a president's ability to order tariffs going forward. That's because numerous other federal statutes, which is so true, authorize the president to impose tariffs and might justify most, if not all, of the tariffs issued in this case. Even more tariffs, actually. Those statutes include, think of that, those statutes include, for example, the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, Section 232. All of these things I know so well. The Trade Act of 1974, Sections 122, 201, 301, and the Tariff Act of 1930, Section 338, all clear. But it's a little bit longer process. I thought I'd make things simple, but they didn't let us do that. I would like to thank Justice Kavanaugh for frankly, his genius and his great ability. Very proud of that appointment. In actuality, while I am sure that they did not mean to do so, the Supreme Court's decision today made a president's ability to both regulate trade and impose tariffs more powerful and more crystal clear rather than less. I don't think they meant that. I'm sure they didn't. It's terrible. And to think
terrible
that the Democrats who oppose this only because they want to go the opposite way, they'd like to pack the court. They want to put on 21 people. They want to pack the court, pack the Supreme Court. Maybe they should do it. Maybe they would be better off if they did it. They want to pack the court. They want to do anything to hurt our country. There will no longer be any doubt, and the income coming in and the protection of our companies and country will actually increase because of this decision. I don't think the court meant that, but it's the way it is. Based on long-standing law and hundreds of victories, and even, as I was pointed out before, even thousands of victories over the years, to the contrary, the Supreme Court did not overrule tariffs. They merely overruled a particular use of IEEPA tariffs. And essentially, it's used to get a fee. I can do anything I want with IEEPA, anything. I just can't charge anybody for it. I can license, I just can't charge them. It's ridiculous, but it's okay because we have other ways, numerous other ways. The ability to block, embargo, restrict, license, or impose any other condition on a foreign country's ability to conduct trade with the United States under IEEPA has been fully confirmed by this decision. So now there's no doubt, because, you know, there were a lot of questions about tariffs because no president was smart enough to use them to protect our country from those countries and businesses that were ripping us off. You took a look at the deficits that we had with some of these countries. It was disgraceful what they got away with for many, many decades. But now we know, because this decision affirms all those things that some people weren't sure about. In order to protect, and it says so, in order to protect our country, a president can actually charge more tariffs than I was charging in the past period of a year.
He's going to open up a can of worms.
Under the various tariff authorities. So we can use other of the statutes, other of the tariff authorities.
This is going to get crazy.
Have also been confirmed and are fully allowed.
Dude, you just opened up a can of worms.
Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs, they're existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices of other countries.
Dude, he's doubling
and
down.
companies.
He doubled down.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. And I say quite simply, which I've said for a long time, make America great again. And interestingly, we've already made it great, so I don't have to use that, but dude. I don't think we'll ever give up on MAGA. MAGA is always going to be with us.
Yo, dude.
If you have a few questions, you can let us know. But just to end, so we're going forward. We will be able to take in more money, and there'll no longer be doubt, because there was always doubt.
He's going to take in more money now.
I know
this opened up the door. Like now you pissed off.
You know, they're sleazebags, major sleazebags, but I know them. And they're foreign country centric.
Oh, shit. This is going to get crazy.
They were sending things into our country, and the people representing them knew full well, but they were sending things into our country, and they were beneficial to other countries, but very, very bad for us. And I stopped it, and we'll just keep it going. So we have a totally firm decision now. And I don't think the court meant it, because the court doesn't show great spirit toward our country, in my opinion. A lot of bad decisions, but there are usually ways around it. This is something we could have done, as Justice Kavanaugh said, we could have done this originally, but we're doing it now. And the numbers could be far greater than the hundreds of billions we've already taken in. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, I'm very curious.
Why didn't call you in the red?
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Justice Thomas and Alito, as you know, are the most conservative constitutional justices. Do you think that you'll get to appoint 2 more justices later this term with similar ideologies? And what type of vetting process will they go through to ensure they uphold?
I don't know, but they're great justices. That's all I could say. And I hope they're going to be around a long time. I hope they're going to stay healthy. They're great people. They're great. And Justice Alito, too, to add to the group. These are great men.
Right.
With a great love of our country and a great understanding of the law.
Mr. President, are you going to ask Congress to take additional action on tariffs now?
No, I don't need to. It's already been approved. I mean, I would ask Congress and probably get it. When people look at the real numbers, and you look at hundreds of billions of dollars that have come into our country. Yesterday, I was at a steel plant, as you know, and I went to great place, great plant, great, wonderful people. And they were telling me, I said to them, you were there, a lot of the press in this room. Of course,
markets are reacting positively
big enough to take the press in this room, but a lot of the press right here. We were in Georgia. And I said to the owner, I made a speech at a factory. They make steel products. And I said, how are you? Nice to meet you. How's business? President, I'd love to kiss you. This is a very powerful man. I don't want to be kissed by that man.
I didn't.
But a very powerful, strong man. He's been in the steel business for many years. His father started it. And he said, sir, I want to kiss you. I said, why? He said, because we were down to working 1 hour a week. And then you came in and imposed tariffs. And all of that foreign junk that they were dropping into our country stopped. And we're now going to double shifts, 7 days a week, and we may be very soon going to 24 hours around the clock, almost 7 days a week. He said, sir, I want to kiss you so badly. And I said, no, thank you. But you know what? He just to finalize it, he said, oh, this is a great place in Georgia. He said, all up and down the highway, same exact answer, sir. We're all going out of business. We're going to go bankrupt. We're all going out of business. And now every one of us are thriving, and we're hiring people like we haven't. He said, like I've never, and he's been in business for, I think, 45 years, like we've never hired before. That's because of tariffs. And we're going to keep it going the same way. And you're going to start to see the results in a year from now when all those factories start that are under construction right now. You see all the construction numbers are so good. Those construction workers are building factories that are going to be open, including not only AI, which is big, but car plants coming in from Canada who ripped us off for 30% of our market. Mexico ripped us off for a big portion. Over the years, they've taken our market. They've taken our cars. They manufacture them in Japan, Germany, and all over the place. Taken our cars. They manufacture them in Japan, Germany, and all over the place. Taken our...
Dude, okay, what is going on now?
In this position, the position I have as president of the United States, had the insight, the courage, well, I don't know what it is, to charge tariffs. You can make your product outside. You can put our people out of business. You can put everybody on the unemployment rolls. But if you...
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
I hate YouTube.
Nina just built an app.
Taiwan came in. They stole our chip business. They make chips for 30 years longer. They made chip, and they put our...
This is where he goes on a ramble.
Intel would be now the largest company. I saved Intel. I literally saved it at the beginning of this administration. And now all those companies in Taiwan are building factories in Arizona, Texas, and various other places because they don't want to pay tariffs. They're all pouring into the United States. But just like that great patriot said yesterday, sir, what you've done, nobody thought was possible. And Steve Moore, a highly respected economist, came into my office yesterday. He said, you've done something nobody's ever done. 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics said we would right now be in a recession. And you said, no, we're going to have a booming country. We're going to have a booming country. You were right. All 22 were wrong, and you were right. This country is booming, and it's booming because of the election on November 5th, and it's booming for another reason. It's booming because of tariffs. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. What will you say ahead of this decision that the Supreme Court...
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. What will you say to foreign nations who seek to renegotiate their deals? And what did you mean a moment ago when you said that the Supreme Court has been swayed by foreign interests?
Well, I think that foreign interests are represented by people that I believe have undue influence. They have a lot of influence over the Supreme Court, whether it's through fear or respect or friendships, I don't know. But I know some of the people that were involved on the other side, and I don't like them. I think they're real slime balls. And got to do what's right for the country. You got to do what's right for the Constitution. That's why I respect you got to do what's right so much Justice Thomas and Alito, Kavanaugh, because they not only dissented, their dissent is so strong. When you read their dissent, you know, a lot of times you'll read a dissent and it's like, well, you don't know, it could go either way. There's no other way. The good news is, it's like Justice Kavanaugh said, very strongly said, you have other ways you can go. You don't have to go that way. You can go other way. There are numerous other ways you can go. And frankly, this should have been done by presidents many years ago. They allowed our country to be eaten alive. We lost 50% of our car business. We used to make cars. We made all the cars. And then Mexico came, Canada came, and Japan and Germany. But they're all coming back now. They're all coming back at record levels. No, please. I'm not talking to you. I don't talk to CNN. It's fake news. Go ahead.
Mr. President, yesterday you made the case that the economy is the hottest it's been in a long time. Right. January jobs report beat expectations. CPI report beat expectation. Real wages are up. What would you tell Americans who are worried that this decision will kind of throw the economy that you have projected going in the right direction at a very rapid pace off track?
Well, thank you for the question. And I will say this, we really are at a very important point. I've been waiting for this decision so long. They could have made this decision a long time ago. Not complex. They're wrong on it. It's a ridiculous decision. But they should have released this a long time ago. We waited months. And that gave uncertainty. Now we have certainty. And I think you're going to see the country get much stronger because of it. Look, we were ripped off by almost every country in the world. If you look at the surpluses, almost every country in the world that did business with us, our people were stupid. And I blame presidents for it because they're ultimately the leader. We were being ripped off by almost every single country in the world, had some massive surpluses. China had hundreds of billions of dollars in surpluses with the United States. They rebuilt China. They rebuilt the army. We built China's army by allowing that to happen. I have a great relationship with President Xi, but he respects our country now. No, what we've done, I charged China a 20% tariff as a penalty for sending fentanyl in. And that was 20 times more than they could make by selling fentanyl. And I said, you know, at some point you're going to say, like, and they have reduced it. You know, fentanyl is down by more than 30% coming into our country. Part of that is our strong border. We have a strong border now. But thank you. Thank you for your question.
Mr. President, sir, you warned once in a social media post that if the Supreme Court did this, shot down your tariffs, the U.S. would be, quote, financially defenseless. Are we financially defenseless right now?
No, because we're doing something in a different way. We're doing something in a very powerful way, and we're using things that some people thought we should have used in the first place. But it's more complicated. It's a little more complicated. The process takes a little more time, but the end result is going to get us more money, and I think it's going to be great. Yeah, Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. So since Liberation Day, there's about $175 billion in tariff revenue that is now in limbo. Do you have to refund $175 billion?
Think of it, Peter. Very fair question. They take months and months to write an opinion, and they don't even discuss that point. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars, not millions, hundreds of billions of dollars. And so I said, well, what happens to all the money that we took in? It wasn't discussed. Wouldn't you think they would have put one sentence in there saying that keep the money or don't keep the money, right? I guess it has to get litigated for the next 2 years. So they write this terrible, defective decision, totally defective. It's almost like not written by smart people. And what they do, they don't even talk about that. Your question is very basic. That was the first question I asked also to make you feel good. They said, what about all the money that we've taken in? Sir, they don't discuss that. How crazy is that?
What you're saying is, are you saying that you don't plan to honor refunds for companies that file for them?
I just told you the answer, right? I told you the answer. It's not discussed. We'll end up being in court for the next 5 years.
I already said that. That's what I said.
Go ahead, Green.
Thank you, Mr. President. When you were talking about the relationship with countries that you have sought trade deals with, do you anticipate that they will seek to renegotiate those?
We already asked that.
What do you say to them, and do you view this as a potential undermining power?
You already answered that. Come on, lady.
Straight ahead with 10% straight across the board, which was the absolute right to do. And that's taking place. That's a lot of money coming into our country. And then during that period of about 5 months, we are doing the various investigations necessary to put fair tariffs or tariffs, period, on other countries. So we're doing that period, but we're immediately instituting the 10% provision, which we're allowed to do. And in the end, I think we'll take in more money than we've taken in before.
President, you've used the tariff revenue to pay for a host of federal policies. You claim that they will pay for them. What happens?
Well, like the farmers, we took care of farmers. You know, the farmers were mistreated by foreign countries very badly, very, very badly. And last week I gave them $12 billion out of tariff money. We intend to, out of tariff money, because just so you understand, we have tariffs. We just have them in a different way. And now they've been confirmed by the Supreme Court of the United States. So there's no longer that question out there about tariffs. And we'll be taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. And countries that have treated us badly will have to pay a price for treating us badly. And countries that have been good to us will be treated very well. We just left the top person in a place called Vietnam, just left my office. Great gentleman, strong and smart. He said, you know, I think this means you're allowed to charge us more tariffs than before. And Canada said to Jameson, I might want to say it, Jameson, but Canada said, I hope you win this decision, because if you don't win, you'll actually be allowed to charge us with a little additional work, higher tariffs. Jameson, you want to comment on that?
Yes, sir. So to the president's point, we have a lot of tools out there. We have Section 122, which will be implemented today. It will be signed today and implemented very shortly. We have Section 301 investigations, which are incredibly legally durable, where we can investigate and address unfair trading practices that have led to our huge trade deficit. And so you can look forward in the coming days and weeks to seeing all of that come out, and we're going to keep continuity in the program. we're going to keep addressing this so that the deficit can keep going down. That's the trend it has, and we can make America great again.
No.
Several of Republicans in Congress have supported this decision by the Supreme Court, and Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader, has called you a wannabe king. Why wouldn't
him a low IQ?
But why wouldn't
he? Doesn't even know. And I watched him the other day interview. The guy doesn't even know what a tariff is.
But there's been bipartisan criticism.
No, not bipartisan. Excuse me.
There's several Republicans have said that.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you just work with Congress to come up with a plan?
I don't have to
push tariffs.
I have the right to do tariffs, and I've always had the right to do tariffs. And it's all been approved by Congress, so there's no reason to do it. All we're doing is we're going through a little bit more complicated process. Not complicated very much, but a little more complicated than what we had. We'll be able to take in tariffs, more tariffs. And the Congress people and the Congress,
the Canadian tariffs last week. There's been votes in the Senate against it.
Yeah, because we lost 2 Republicans or 3 Republicans because they're not good Republicans. What you don't say, you don't say that we got 215 votes.
You need 218 for something to pass.
Yeah, sure we do. We might have lost 3 votes, and we got. And what was the score on the Republican side? 215 to 3, right? But you don't say that. We have great unity. There's great unity in the Republican Party, and I hope everyone's going to vote Republican, because otherwise you won't have a country left, because these people have been destroying. They are destroying our country. Please.
Mr. President, the 122 tariffs, that 10%, is that going to be for 150 days, or do you want to charge that indefinitely?
We have a right to do pretty much what we want to do, but we're going to charge it starting effectively. I think it's 3 days from now. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, you speak to a lot of factory workers, a lot of manufacturing workers. What does the Supreme Court ruling say? What's that message to those factory workers?
Well, I think the factory workers are happy because we're now telling them that they're going to look. The man I met with yesterday who owned a factory was out of business. He was out of business. And now he's employing 5 times. In fact, I walked in, he's got a brand new crane. I said, how old is that crane? We got it in December. He's allowed to write it off in 1 minute. The Great Big Beautiful Act gave no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. He said this great big beautiful bill, frankly, has been the best thing that's ever happened for the workers of the, much more so than for rich people. The only thing it does for rich people, it allows them to hire a lot more people. But when I saw him, and then he said, it's all up and down the line. This is a place in Georgia, all up and down, other factories doing different, not only steel products, different. He said, every one of us was out of business. We could barely make it. Some of them were down to less than an hour a week. Think of it, 1 hour a week to make just a few little trinkets or whatever they make. Now they're going round the clock. I had it a month ago. I went to Michigan, went to Ford, and I met with Bill Ford, the head of Ford, and we were in one of the biggest plants, an original plant from the early 1900s, where, by the way, I might add this, it's not really relevant, but it's all relevant. Murders are down. Crime is way down in the country. The factories that we're talking about, the people that we're talking about, they are so thrilled with Trump. So whether we charge IEEPA tariffs or whether we charge tariffs under a different section, that's what we're going to be doing. There's no way we can lever. This is what happened to our country. This is why we owe $38 trillion, which we'll get rid of in pretty good course. We have a very incompetent Fed chairman who likes high interest rates. For political reasons, he likes them. But we're going to have somebody very good. Interest rates should come down very substantially. I think we should pay the lowest interest rates on the planet. There should be no country, and we don't do that. We're number 38. This is just bad policy for a long period of time. But what's happened is we've made America strong again. We've made America great again. We should pay. As an example, the country of Switzerland, we were getting almost no tariffs from them. We had a $40 billion deficit. And the prime minister called me up. She said, but we are a small country, because I said we're going to raise it to 39% from nothing. That would have rendered them not very successful, as opposed to right now, they're considered elite. But if we put a tariff, and I realized then, she said, but sir, we are a small country. I said, you're a small country with a big deficit. For us, you're making a lot of money off the United States. if we do that, a lot of these elite countries, they're elite because we let them make so much money. And I want them to do well, but I don't want them to do well on the backs of the American taxpayer. So I appreciate your question. I think it's reasonable.
President Trump, you said that you were disappointed with that, but were you surprised with this decision? What you felt when you?
I was surprised because I thought that what we did was, number one, according to, I mean, I read the paragraphs. I read very well. Great comprehension. I read everything there is to read, and I said, we can't lose this case. But we can when judges are political, when they want to be politically correct, when they're catering to a group of people in D.C. Maybe, I don't know what it is, because when you read it, there's no other interpretation. There is no other interpretation. But it's okay, because what has come out, I'll say it for the third time and maybe the last time in a while, is that we've taken the uncertainty of tariffs out, because we had uncertainty. We got sued by sleazebags, I know them well, that are very outside country, China-centric, but outside country-centric. And they're going to end up not doing as well as they did before. America was becoming really, really, we're strong again. Hey, we have the strongest military. I rebuilt the military in the first term. We have the most powerful military. We make the best equipment. And even them, you know, we could do much better. We have people that get paid a lot of money to manufacture Patriot missiles and javelins and all the different things. But when you want them, they're too slow. And we put them on notice, and they're going to make, our country is building a lot of things right now, and our country is doing really well. And we're going to keep it that way. The bottom line is that the word certainty is now in the equation. Every single thing I said today is guaranteed certainty. It's been tested, as Jameson said 1,000 times. Literally, I said hundreds of times. He said, sir, actually thousands of times, and won in all of the courts. And we're just going back to that. And the problem is that we had other presidents that weren't into trade. Maybe they weren't business oriented. Maybe they weren't smart. We had some dummies too, you know, respectfully say we had some real dummies. So we are going to keep it going just as before, probably more so, but you're no longer going to be asked every time I got up.
Something happened.
Yes. Well, what happens if you can't charge tariffs? Now we can. And by the way, in their decision, they specifically said, we can do these. We have alternatives. Yeah.
David, on the trade deals that were negotiated using IEEPA tariffs, do those stand now, or are they have to be redone?
Some of them stand. Many of them stand. Some of them won't, and they'll be replaced with the other tariffs.
Mr. President, on the Supreme Court justices who ruled against this the policy, striking it down, are they still invited to your State of the Union next week? And will you speak with them?
They are invited, barely. Barely. 3 are happily invited. No, they're barely invited. Honestly, I couldn't care less if they come. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. On the trade deal, which is the framework, which is to be signed with India sometime.
All right, I'm over listening to these reporters. There you have it, dude. I mean, like, honestly, kind of a crazy. I mean, he came out and said it, dude. I think they poked the bear, to be honest. I think that how this rolls out, I don't know, man. The uncertainty is crazy, right? We talk about uncertainty, right? You talk about FUD, just fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Like that's kind of what this all is. Like, no one knows. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone, has their own way of looking at things. I mean, I've interpreted laws, and trying to interpret things and how to read them can be hard sometimes, but it's like, it's going to be interesting. I have no idea. I don't think any of us know what's going to happen here. And I think we can all probably put opinion on it. And what it comes down to for me, if you want my 2 cents on it, I think that this opened up a can of worms. I think that what SCOTUS did probably in their ruling just allowed them to use other sections of the code, which we saw here. I mean, this has been out here longer than even the emergency, what he actually went under for the IEEPA section is that now I think that they actually opened up other codes here that could put more tariffs out there. I don't know how that's going to work, but I mean, I guess we're going to find out. We're going to find out really quickly how this all plays out here. But I think that he is not going to lay down lightly to this. And again, it goes back to the whole refund. There's no discussion about the refunds. I said this before before Trump even spoke. No discussion about the refund. How does that play out? No one knows. No one knows. There's no direction on this. It's kind of crazy when you think about that. And it's going to be wrapped up for 5 years, right? Trump said it himself. It's going to be 5 years in litigation. I mean, no one's going to have clear idea. Even when he's gone, he's going to be out of office. New administration is going to be coming in, and they're still going to be dealing with where this money goes. And on top of that, he's already spent some of it, like I said, giving it back to farmers. Who knows where some of the other stuff went? We honestly have no idea. But it's just kind of a crazy thing, and it's going to be a wild ride here for the next 3 years. No matter how you put it, dude. Oh man, either you're strapped up and you're ready, or you're not, dude. And I think that's what it comes down to. Tired of winning yet? The broadcast team is tied to the comedy show because we're not gaining any knowledge here. Yeah, I'm over the people talking, dude. They're sometimes it just gets too much listening to these people talk, or these people ask questions. I feel like they're not listening to what he's saying sometimes, and they ask the same questions over and over and over again. But I mean, like you said, President Trump announced he's going to put a 10% global tariff on all countries under Section 122, over and above the existing tariffs that's already there. Like he's not playing around when he says this. So how that plays out is going to be very, very interesting. But I mean, he laid down, at the very end of his speech right there, that's what he said. He said 10% global tariff. Is that against the law? I don't know. Dude, my wife's car's dead. We started an equity loan against the house to try to. Oh my gosh, that sucks, dude. Can you imagine Kamala trying to do this same interview? Oh my gosh. Yeah, sorry I missed some of your guys' comments. I was letting it read. I know that when I speak over the thing, it kind of comes like distorted, so I tried to do it. Glad the midterms can't get here, or the midterms cannot get here soon enough. It'll be interesting to see how the midterms play out. It really will be interesting. I don't know how it's going to play out. It's going to be an interesting midterm for sure. That dude is going to put the country into a tailspin. I don't think so. I don't think she would have GoFundMe. It would have been the press secretary probably. Oh yeah, gosh, that would have been even worse. That would have been even worse, dude, if it was the press secretary. Yeah, everything's so unclear. The markets hate that, and it's not good for the economy. Absolutely, I would agree, Marty. I agree with that. The uncertainty in the markets are kind of crazy, but right now the markets are reacting. Kind of reacting positively to this. You're seeing right here, looking pretty good. Even the stock market right now is kind of, you can see right there. Yeah. It said raging. Trump announces new 10% global tariff after raging over the Supreme Court. Oh my God, raging. I guess he was pretty pissed. He didn't play with kittens. I'll tell you that. He said how he felt, I guess what it comes down to is that now does it become personal with the Supreme Court justices, right? Are they going to take it personal for what he said, not rule in his favor in the next things? Who knows? Tony, you have to finally get your 2 seconds of attention. He essentially pulled out his collective sack and said, that's stupid. New 10% tariff for all you. No, that's kind of crazy, right? I was like, okay, well, you're going to knock down that. Well, we'll just go under section 220 over here. And like it says right here, go under section 201 or whatever it was. Or I think he said 220. Right here, 232 of the Trade Expansion Act, which lets tariffs for national security reasons. He used that before on steel, aluminum, and it could cover more now. Like, that's the great part. It could cover more now, which is what he said. So this is going to be a wild ride. I hope you guys are ready for it. What else did I put up here? Yeah, this is where you had Justice Clarence Thomas come out here. And he said neither the statutory text nor the Constitution provides a basis for ruling against the president. So, that's one of the people who voted in favor of it. So it's going to be wild, dude. Imposing 10% tariffs. Who is ever trying to hurt with that? Like other countries didn't do anything in this scenario. This is what the problem was. The way that they implemented it is irresponsible. Yeah, and I think they're just going to keep pushing it down. I mean, I think the tariff's not going to go anywhere. I think it's going to, if anything, I think Trump's going to double down. If I was Supreme Court justice, I wouldn't give two rats what a president said about a ruling. What's he going to do? Fire me? They won't take it personal. That's probably true, Stanton, right? Who cares? I mean, yeah, they're appointed for a lifetime at this point. Imposing, let's see here, the Supreme Court ruled on it and just slapping 10%. Like what? I know it almost goes back to there was actually a meme out here of when Biden said said the same thing, right? He said, well, the Supreme Court ruled this way, but I don't care. He didn't say to that effect, but that's kind of what he said, and kind of in the same boat, dude. But yeah, Trump issued a massive if you want to go to his Truth Social, which I'm not going to, but there's a massive post out here in regards to his dispute with that. So this is going to be wild, man. I don't know what to say. Yeah, Trump says that $175 billion in tariff refunds will be fought in courts for the next 5 years. that's wild, dude. Next 5 years. Oh, you're good, dude. Screw the elites. I mean, it's just crazy to think, dude. Like in all reality, where this is going to go. I don't think this is what would be nice. I mean, this is where I think crypto and blockchain kind of goes back to this whole tariff thing. And it just makes me think even more like how awesome would it be to have for everyone to be able to see where the money goes. Like, because the blockchain doesn't lie. And it would be cool if our tax-paying dollars went onto a blockchain that we could track. Like we could go to Arcam and track where our money is being spent. We could see which wallet it's going to go to. We can track all that stuff. Because right now we can't. Right now, we can't track anything, like what's happening in Minnesota, what's happening in California, where the tariffs are going. Even when Trump collects these tariffs, like where is it going? Where's it sitting? Where's that money actually at? It would be actually pretty cool to know where everything's being spent. I don't know if it would ever get to a blockchain level like that to where people could observe that. But I mean, I think this fraud that's out there, I mean, the number one reason why we have so much a large deficit like we do is because of the fraud. I don't think it's because of anything else. I don't think it's because of tariffs. I don't think it's because of that. I don't think it's because of any of that stuff. I think it's actually just flat out fraud from both parties. I think that's pretty obvious now. And I think it would be cool if we could get some things onto a blockchain and then be able to view where that money goes through a blockchain. And then you don't have to have a Doge. You have the public out there who wants to keep track of where this is going. They can't do that for national security reasons. I mean, if you're giving money if you're giving Medicaid and Medicare and you have all these benefits that you're handing out to states, that has nothing to do with national security. Now, if you want to keep your defense budgets, off of a blockchain, that's a different story, right? Okay, set aside a certain amount of money for a defense budget, whatever you need to do. But if you're sending money to states and that money is then being, used for whatever it's being used for, I think we have a right to be able to see that. Yeah, man, both sides gaming the system. Oh yeah, it's that's what sucks. I mean, this isn't a Democrat Republican thing. This is both parties, dude. This is both parties that contribute to this. It's really bad. Cash will be seen as dirty money in the future. Oh, it's already kind of seen like that way, right, Michael? I feel like having cash right now, like you are looked down upon. Like cash, who has cash? Dude, there's not a lot of places that take cash anymore. It's crazy. There's a lot of people saying, like they don't take cash. I mean, a couple of restaurants that we go to regularly don't even take cash anymore. It's kind of crazy when you think about that. But cash is like, who has cash? To tell you the truth, I did have a $100 bill on me the other day, which was kind of weird. I usually don't carry cash. I still had it on from when we went to California to Disneyland, and I'm like, who carries cash, dude? Even Disneyland doesn't even take cash sometimes, depending on where you're at. He's just unrealistic in all his moves. His so-called "Make America Great Again." Who's getting all the greatness? I mean, I think it's a very broad statement, right? Make America great again. I just think I kind of like just put Americans first. That's what I care about. Just put America first. I can care, the whole "Make America Great" thing. I think it's just putting America first. That's the big thing for me. I agree about both parties. They claim public outrage is a national security threat. Yeah, public outrage is a national security threat. Well, I think it's on both sides, right? I mean, they played it with the whole J6 thing. They played it with what's happening with ICE. I mean, it's just nonstop, dude. There always has to be something negative in the tabloids. It's just a wild thing to continually watch. I mean, in all reality, it's kind of it kind of gets to a point where it's just super annoying. Just super annoying. Cash is becoming inconvenient for business owners. I know, right? I could see it being inconvenient. I agree. Both parties, they claim public. Yeah. They look at me like I handed them a turd when I use cash. They start sanitizing their hands. Cool cat. They're just like, dude, cash. The hell is this guy? Start sanitizing afterwards. I mean, cash is dirty as hell. If you've watched any of that stuff, cash is nasty, bro. Like, I hate touching cash. I mean, not I like the value of cash, but I mean, like, I don't like actually touching cash because it's just so disgusting. It's just so funny to see Gavin Newsom on here, dude. It's just so funny to see him tweeting on X, dude. Like, Gavin Newsom has, like, he should not be able to tweet. Like, you talk about refunds, bro. You talk about refunds. Like, this is the one guy. I mean, like, this is the Democratic, like, this is the Democrat Party's potential running candidate, right? This is going to lead the Democratic Party right here. This guy. And that's sad. It sucks to think that the Democratic Party, this is your guy, right? And he's out here saying, time for a refund. Like, I don't think he's the guy that should be saying time for a refund. Like, I just don't. I think that yeah, that's probably that's pretty funny to me, dude. To be honest, this is not the guy to be time for a refund. But markets are doing good though, dude. Honestly, markets are not doing bad right now. It's kind of shocking. I'm kind of shocked. Even when Trump came out and said he's going to put a 10% tariff globally, even on top of where he's already at, like, the markets did not do bad. Like, that's kind of a crazy statement to come out here and say. Another keyboard warrior president incoming. I know, right? California is as clean as a whistle. State is a dumpster fire. California, I mean, that sucks because California is such a beautiful state. Such a beautiful state. I mean, I love California. My family's from there. You know, I love it down there in terms of just like the weather, you know. But dude, just to think that like like Newsom is he's just, I mean, God, they can't find a better Democratic leader. It's kind of crazy to me. They have that's who they're gonna like. That he does not have a record to stand on that's gonna get him elected, dude. Like, there's just no way. Newsom is one of the most disgusting human beings to ever serve in office. He's the reason California might have 2 Republicans running for governor. I did see that, dude. Is that I did see that could actually happen. I don't know if it's going to go through with that, but I did see that. Agree. What a shame. People hate cash because they would have to figure out how to make change. At least just Northern California. Oh. We talking about LTJ? Anyway, Austin and family, I'm going back to work. Okay, Millicent, good to see you. I hope all is well. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you. Yeah, have a great weekend as well. Yeah. But man, what a crazy day, dude, already. Just thinking about the it's funny, it says the S&P 500 is volatile trading after S&P. I mean, right now it's climbing. Everything's kind of climbing up off of this 10%. I don't think that this SCOTUS, it's funny because when we talked about SCOTUS's ruling here, we were talking about like how it was going to affect the markets. I don't think I think that we're so, what's the word? We are so like accustomed to volatility. And I just think that we have become sensitized to it, that like none of this actually affects us. I think that Trump over the last year has created us to be sensitized. Like, we're sensitized to it now. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, another tariff discussion. Who gives a shit? Like, on to the next. You know, that's kind of where it's at. If I had to live in California, I'd choose Eureka, safer up there politically. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Northern California is nice, dude. Every state is a new world in America. It kind of feels like it sometimes. The uninitiated states of America. Yeah, and I think there's yeah. I don't think Newsom's all there. Like and share up the stream. I appreciate that. Yeah, dude. And by the way, guys, I put a little link above there. for Kick. As you guys know, I did officially start streaming on Kick as of today. Today is the first stream over there. So, like I said, YouTube's been a little finicky with a lot of things. I talked to you guys about me making a jump over to Kick at some point. I'll probably be doing some dual streams across there, but like I said, eventually maybe working my way over to the Kick side, just because of all the stuff. I mean, you can't do a lot of things here on YouTube. They've been flagging the channels on a lot of things, putting copyright strikes, doing stuff, and it just kind of gets old after a while. And so I finally took the initiative to go over there and actually start streaming on Kick. Finally got it figured out with StreamYard. So I am streaming over there as well. If you guys want to go follow me on the Kick side. And, I don't know exactly, what I'm going to do over on Kick. I might change some things up on the Kick side versus on the YouTube side. Like, I know YouTube's a lot of crypto and things like that, but I might change some things up over on the Kick side. The possibility of 2 Republicans running for governor in California has nothing to do with Newsom. Who is a term limit and can't run for elections because there is a runoff system. Yeah. Same with like here in Washington. I think they can do 3 terms, right? You go up to 3 terms and then you can't run anymore. So I think that's the same thing with Newsom. But no, I'm just saying, I think we can all agree that what's coming out of California is pretty bad. I mean, Guy, I know you're a Democrat guy, but you could probably agree to some extent that Newsom, his track record is not very good. Like he did not help California in any way, shape, or form. Austin, I've been noticing a lot more streamers are going to Kick, like Jake and Rampage Jack. Yeah, I mean, Kick's kind of where to go. You know what I mean, for a lot of things. I didn't know that. Did Jake go over to? Did Jake Gagan go over to Kick? I didn't know that. Oh, he did. Look at that, dude. He's over on Kick side. Good for Jake, man. Good for Jake. I didn't know he was over there, dude. Yeah, good for him. That's going on the Kick side is it's tough to go on the Kick side, dude, because it's a whole new platform. You got to build a whole new thing. It could be tough. You know what I mean? In all reality, it's tough to try to build a whole new set of stuff. So, yeah, but good for him, dude. Let's see. Cheers for the stream. Keep it up, folks. All right, Potter, appreciate you being here. We bring back the Governator. Twitch is another one. Awesome. Yeah, I'm actually on Twitch as well, dude. What's Kick? Kick is just like another streaming platform, dude. Looks like this. It's just like another streaming platform. So, you can come over here and basically almost the same thing as what's the word? Like almost same thing as Twitch. It's like just another stream platform. It has like less restrictions. They don't like do a bunch of crazy stuff, kick you off. California is a difficult state to govern. I think initiative and referendum created a mess. It would. I mean, they're huge. I mean, the California's economy is like one of the largest. But I mean, I think that this millionaire tax that's being passed here and that got passed in California, and what's happening in Washington is just going to just steer people so far away from these states, and it just gets, like I said, just gets left, down here. Jake is streaming on Grindr too. Stupid. Clarity. I mean, I think that they said that the Clarity Act, right? Didn't the Clarity Act come back and say that they expect I think they said they expect the Clarity Act to come back or to be passed by April of this year. That Kick platform you're showing almost looks like Rumble. Yeah, I think it's they're all probably pretty much the same. Rumble, Kick, all those things, dude.
In actuality,
I think they're all in the same boat here in terms of like just streaming. They just do different things, maybe have different sets. I thought that the Clarity Act, I thought I read the Clarity Act that I thought someone said the Clarity Act was most likely going to come out in April. I thought that's where I read. And now the betting odds are for it to come back out. Let's see. White House sets March 1st deadline to resolve stablecoin reward dispute and advance the Clarity Act. So March 1st. So that's only like 10 days away, 13 days or 11 days away. Not too bad. So, but I thought I read somewhere in here that we're looking at April. Clarity Act could be passed by April. Let's see here. Are we still okay on? I mean, I still hold it, Jack, on the whole Acceler Sentinel thing. Interview with Fox News, I think. Yeah, I think there was something I read yesterday. Sick Semper. I think I read something yesterday about that. But like I said, I could be wrong. Yeah, Kick platform kind of looks like Rumble in a way, right? Excuse me. But Yeah, I think you if you go over to the kick side, I think you have to bring a different thing. I mean, like, I don't think that there's like they put some weird stuff up here. Like, I mean, just the everything else about like the top categories and all this kind of stuff is kind of weird. I don't know what audience is over on the kick side, to be honest with you guys. I have no idea. I'm assuming that it's like mostly just chatting, just like probably open forum. In all reality, that's probably what it is. Probably just an open forum talking about random ass stuff. It seems like that's kind of what it is, just random. Maybe I should just like start an IRL stream, just in real life stream, and just like walk. You guys can just see like my in real life. It'd be so boring. Is the Clarity Act gonna take away API? I think that's what the dispute is, Pedro, is about the stablecoin. The world is a vampire. It reminds me of the Smashing Pumpkins. Coinbase CEO wasn't about it. Yeah, he was against. That's why he didn't want to move forward with it. But it's crazy how everyone comes to stream on Kick on these platforms, and this whole in real life thing is kind of crazy. They walk around and like stream their lives. I don't know if I could do that, dude. I don't know if I could stream my life. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. Have a great day. Oh, you're saying time to get off. Is that what you're saying? I should get off. I should get off. All right, good old Trump. Yeah, markets are actually not that bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. Markets are not looking bad. Right here, we're seeing the days coming around here. The 4 hours working its way up, staying at the top right now. We could do something like this right here. I'm probably not. The indicators are not looking. Indicators are kind of weird with right now. Anyways, I probably won't touch anything in the markets. To be honest with you guys, I'll probably stay on the sidelines for a couple days until some indicators clear up for me before I jump in. I'm on break. Is game, y'all. Thanks for a solid stream. Oh, I appreciate you, Brodick. Good to see you too, by the way. I gotta go get my truck today. Austin stream for a total of 4 hours in a day. That's so hard, dude. The markets are happy. The tariffs got knocked down. Yeah, but then Trump came back and doubled down, man. He came back and doubled down and said he's gonna put 10% tariff. Like, so they might be happy about that because the markets were kind of flat, right? I mean, they were kind of flat. They weren't when I first started the stream. The Dow was down. They was kind of flat, and now they're bouncing back. Even after Trump said that announces a new 10% global tariff. I mean, that's pretty wild, dude. Nah, man, hang out with us. I'm still holding all my XCL. Me too, Tony. I'm actually holding all my stuff as well. I've been playing YouTube while I work on cars and do other things. Nice, dude. Nice, Tony. I mean, that's kind of where it's at. Yeah, it is kind of crazy how this is working out here. Like, I think we've become sensitized. I think we've become sensitized to it all. That's kind of where I'm at with it, to be honest. We're kind of become sensitized to all the tariff stuff. But yeah, it's good the Clarity Act's not. Be interesting to see what comes out of the Clarity Act. Effective immediately, all national security tariffs, Section 232 and existing sections of 301 tariffs remain in place and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. Damn. It's crazy. We ain't messing around now. McConnell, dude. So bad, dude. He should not be in office. He needs to be out. Hey, Austin, how's the truck running? I have to go pick it up today. I was going to go pick it up yesterday. I got to go pick it up today. That's probably what I need to go do, actually, to get out of the way. What time is it? 11:30. It's going to take me an hour to get out there. Yeah, I need to get on it if I'm going to do it. I'm down on most things right now, but not sweating it. Feels like the right time, and the stars are aligning, so to speak. This is the time for me. Heck yeah. Six Semper, that's the way to do it, dude. If you're feeling like it, dude, do it. Holding DCA is the plan. I think holding is important, man. You know, people, when you start to sell, you have to obviously pay some taxes on it, but I mean, Trump's biggest mistake. Yeah, and it's the whole Supreme Court thing is kind of crazy. I mean, I feel like they're going to find ways around it no matter how you look at it. No matter how you look at it, dude, the markets, the Trump's going to do what he's going to do. I'll see you on Kick if you switch. I mean, like, I think I'm going to dual stream for a little bit here, but I mean, like, I think at some point you gotta eventually start to shift. You know, you gotta eventually start to shift. You gotta eventually make that jump, because I think like YouTube's kind of just like, what's the word I'm looking for, dude? Like, it's just kind of like bogged down with just, it's like kind of just bogged down where they just like hinder you from doing a lot of things, unfortunately, and it just sucks. He's not messing around. How can you say that? He's still not planning to take tariffs to Congress. Yeah, because he doesn't believe he has to, right, guys? So I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what midterms happen, dude. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the midterms. It'll be quite the wild ride. I mean, they're already anticipated to lose the House, right? I mean, that's already out there. Executive orders that defines the difference between politicians. Does down go Sailor, down go Sailor. Sailor is going to be. I think Sailor's going to be fine. Yeah, I talk. You know what's crazy is we're not even talking about any of the stuff that came out today. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. I mean, we're not even talking about GDP. We're not talking about anything, dude. Like, you know, our forecast for GDP was sitting at 3. We came in at 1.4, which is horrible, right? I mean, to have a forecast at 3, but we came in at 1.4. Like, the markets aren't even reacting to a bad GDP, right? That's the crazy thing too, is that's not even reacting poorly. So, guy, you can just make your jump over to Kick, bro. Just make your jump over to Kick. Everyone, just go over to Kick. Just go over here. I got 4 followers now. Hell yeah. You guys are part of the first followers over on Kick. Just go over to the Kick side. Because like that's the thing is like on YouTube you can't talk about like, you know, you can't talk about you can't talk about a lot of things. You can't talk about prediction markets. I mean, they'll hit you for prediction markets. They'll hit you for a lot of that kind of stuff. So the market will have to sober up eventually. We'll see what happens. I feel like some people have just to begun lose faith in the Fed chair, and some are saying I've lost faith in the Fed chair years ago, bro. It's market fatigue right before the sell-off period. The stock market reacted to an at opening. It did. It reacted pretty crazy. If you go back and look at the candles, even the crypto market candles were kind of wild this morning. When you saw the tariff discussions, all that kind of stuff. I mean, like this thing, like, you know, went pretty crazy this morning. But it's actually held up. I mean, here's the spike, right? Here's the spike that happened, then came back down, and now we're climbing back up almost again. So, yeah, not too bad. Market's so oversold. Market is really oversold right now. Yeah, no doubt about that. But all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna go get my truck. I gotta get my truck done for the day. It's a Friday. Got to beat the traffic and get my truck back home, dude. So, Austin, you're just gonna love when the feds do whatever Trump tells it to do. I just want them to cut rates, guy. I want them to cut rates. So I said that for a long time. I think the cutting rates and allowing people to refinance and do that kind of stuff, I think that's important. So, but we'll see what happens. So with all that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Friday. Yeah, please be safe out there over the weekend. I think I'm going to stream tomorrow. Let's see. I think I might be able to stream tomorrow morning. Let's see my calendar for soccer. We got 3 soccer games this weekend, which is crazy, dude. Soccer is just nuts. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, you too, Tim. Good to see you. Good to see you, Tim. Let's see here. Yeah, tomorrow we play so we got to leave here. Yeah, I'll probably hop on tomorrow morning. And kick it with you guys on a Saturday. We don't have to be out. We don't have to be out the door till about noon, 11:30ish. Get out the door. So, yeah, I think the business mogul with a degree from Wharton would know better than a career bureaucrat. Yeah, the Fed's not listening to Trump right now, but they will with the new Fed chair probably. But we'll see. So, all right, guys, with all that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Love you guys a ton. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. We'll see you over on Kick. With all that, peace out, everyone.